Hey. It's another morning. Is it Thursday yet? Yes. Oh, you know what? I just realized I'm a little behind here. Hang on. Give me a second. Oh, Lord. Fix it quick. Come on, Mart. Come on, Marty. Otherwise, that blank screen's going to stay there for a second. Let me fix something because I didn't do it ahead of time. All right. There we go. And there's my face. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Happy Thursday. FTG Thursday on the Morning Night Live. You know what FTG stands for. If you don't, ask your neighbor. In fact, speaking of neighbors, invite your neighbor, because there's some people here, I guess, but not too bad. It's a good start. Anyway, so the list came out, and I wasn't really prepared for that this morning, and so I'm going to be talking more about the list tomorrow. We'll look at the basic stories, and I see a lot of people are upset at who's not on the list. But they keep trying to make it like he's on it. And he's trended that way. But maybe that was before the list came out. The list must have come out last night. You know what list I'm talking about? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about right now? That list that everybody's been waiting for? That really isn't a list. It's not a client list. It's just a list of people mentioned in the court documents. Now, some of them have some spicy things going on and some don't. But again, like I said, I'm not all that prepared to talk about it today. So we'll go through some stuff and we'll see what happens. But anyway, should we do a show? Why am I so low down there? Okay, should we do a show? Hi, I'm up here. Shall we? Huh? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Johnny, you ready over there? All right, cool. Please play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
All righty then. Thank you to lovely Alyssa, the announcer on the show. Shall we do this thing? Yes, we shall. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel on this Thursday, the FTG Thursday, the 4th of January, 2023. Coming up on the anniversary, one of the most frightful and heinous events in the history of American history, and Democrats everywhere. Coming up on January 6th, which is actually on Saturday, so I don't get to say much about it on the day of it, but everyone, the so-called insurrection that wasn't an insurrection, and so there's some things out there about maybe they're meaning to distract. Maybe the Epstein list came out today or yesterday because of that. Now again, the Epstein list, that's not really a list. And I'll keep saying that because it's just the people that were mentioned in court documents. Some of them had nothing to do with being there and some not, whatever. But it's anticlimactic. The names we're seeing are the same names we knew we were going to see. Although there's some sketchy details that are in this thing that I've noticed. I haven't had time to look at it that much. So again, some of this stuff I'm going to read cold. But I do want to talk about Vivek and something that a CNN reporter Washington Post reporter attempted with Vivek, and I thought Vivek handled it well. And that's why I put it as the feature story, even though it's probably not the most important story of the day. Got lots of things trending people are talking about in the news on X and other news places and stuff like that. Even stuff that... It's funny because we did all this stuff yesterday regarding Claudine Gay, and I'm looking at some of the think pieces today, and I'm like, oh yeah, I said that yesterday. See, I beat him to the punch. So we'll get into that and more. But of course, I'm going to say good morning to everybody. Wait, let me get, notifications. Where are my notifications at? Let's check this here. Oh, I already got that open. Thank you first though, Somnambule Nation. Gunfoxer is just dropping articles, of course. There's an update on the plane crash. We'll check that one out too. Also, Banks, Resolute Germ, another guy V, and Somnambule Nation for retweeting my announcement of the show. Please share the show on social media right now. You got to do it now. I'm running now. So if you do it now, maybe people will come and see us and join us. Say, hey, come join us and in the chat over here or something like that. And maybe we're slowly growing. We're slowly growing again. I don't know, suddenly a bunch of new names that are here on a regular. I love it. Love to see it. We'll keep doing that. By the way, before I say hi too, my channel has an official copyright strike on it. Now, apparently you don't, if you have one on your channel, you don't get suspended for any period of time, because clearly I am here on YouTube, and unless I'm the only one who can see me, but clearly there's people in the chat chatting away, so that means I'm still here. But I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight it, and I'm talking to one of my lawyer friends who's going to help me file a counter notification against this company that is putting a strike on my channel for really a nefarious reason. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care if that music belonged to them. It was clearly fair use in the way in which it was used. It was used on, first of all, in a production made by the White House, aka the United States government, which if I'm going to do some commentary on something the United States government did, and that's clearly fair use in a news broadcast and doing commentary, editorializing about that particular piece. And so it was clearly fair use. And I'm not sure how far I want to take this, because it's so cut and dry that there are major fines against companies who do this improperly. And I just might... Who knows? I may try to take advantage of that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I might have to do some crowdfunding to do it, because I can't afford lawyers. Anyway. All right, let's say hi and get this started. First in chat over Rumble. Mr. Avocado Diablo gets the bell. And the only other person on Rumble who said anything is Mike Savage. Blarg. But there's, I guess there's 5 people there. 2 others besides me, 3, 4 others besides me. So if you're watching Rumble, hi, say hi. Guten Tag. Hey. Wow. See, now I opened my Rumble window over here, and it's clearly behind because I'm seeing Germany, and I'm clearly not in Germany. I'm in the living room, but by the fireplace. By the way, it is the 10th day of Christmas. 10 drummers drumming. Is it drumming? 10 drummers drumming? I don't know. What is it on the 10th day? Or is it 10 pipers? Here. Lyrics. 12 days of Christmas. Okay, the 12 days of Christmas lyrics. This should have been easy. Somebody already know this? I don't know. Okay, why can't it just 12? No, 12 is drummers drumming. Well, that's where's 10? 10. There's 9. 10 is 10 Lords of Leaping, 9 ladies dancing, or 10 Lords of Leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids of milking, 7 swans of swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. So there you go. So it is 10 Lords of Leaping. So it's 10 Lords Leaping Day. It's Lords, tall person, if you happen to be watching the show or watching a replay, it's Lords Leaping Day. So there you go. On YouTube, first in chat is also Avocado Diablo who gets the bell. Enjoy. Good morning also to Special Can Acid, Sure You Gospel, Zed the Snarky, Ravon Harris, Tyre. The hell? tire. There we go. Alexander, the Invictus. Oh, Gentleman Lich today. Gentleman Lich. Hello, Hypnagogic Monk. How is Vivek only polling at 5 to 6%? Because there is a giant gorilla already leading the pack by leaps and bounds. I am surprised, though, that Vivek hasn't. Well, maybe I'm not. I think I like Vivek. I think he's quick on his feet. He's got all the talking points. People are still wary of him, though. And because they just, he came out of nowhere. It's kind of like I don't want to say he's the Candace Owens of the Republican candidate, but he did come out of nowhere and just, look, he lays the verbal smackdown on everybody, and he doesn't mess around. And I like him because I think he's I consider him the anti-war Republican candidate. Someone who's not going to get us, he's a lot. Let's put it this way. He's very similar to Trump. He's, the business guy. And as far as debating skills, nobody comes close as far as I'm concerned. And so am I surprised that he's only 5 or 6%? Maybe it's because he's such a newcomer and because Trump has so much of the lead, and the establishment wants Nikki Haley. And I don't know why anybody likes Chris Christie. Ron DeSantis has a record that everyone knows about. So I can understand why he might be behind Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. Although I thought he destroyed Nikki Haley last time there was a debate. And I think that's why in the CNN debate coming up on January 10th, I don't think he's going to be in it. I don't think they're going to let him in that debate. And so, which is unfortunate because he's by far the best debater in that group. So, I don't know why he doesn't poll more than 5 or 6%, but anyway. Also, good morning to Rock Hopper, my friend from down under. How you doing? Mike Savage, Blarg, Lord Stanhope's in the house. Let's see. Attack Alpaca's here. Simon Wolfwood, good morning. Justine Elishon, welcome. Nice to see you again. Bookworm Addict, Damian Gershwin. And that's about. Oh, Mike is in the house. How you doing, Darren? Oh, Mike's the show's favorite liberal. We love Mike. Even though he attempts to be a gadfly, even though you cannot get under my skin, Mike. That's the problem. I think that's why you enjoy being here, because you try to get under my skin and it just doesn't work. Hello, Darren Root, also, and Slim Tito 02. What's up? What do you ask for, Mike's? Donald Trump's business received at least $7.8 million from 20 foreign governments during his presidency, according to new documents released by House Democrats. Most of it came from China. And is there a point to that, Mike? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's up with what's the point on that? His businesses received at least $7.8 million from foreign governments. Yeah, has he done business with the foreign governments in the past? Is it something new? Is it something out of the ordinary for his business? I'm not sure. Anyway, amazing, disgraced. No, you're not chopped liver. I didn't see you in the chat anywhere yet. What do you mean chopped liver? Oh, there you are. I'm sorry. Try the Bob and Doug McKenzie version. Oh, and a beer in a tree. Oh, and now what's here too? Okay, this thing must have skipped because there's Selected Boy. Yeah, my friend. Whoa, now what? What music did the White House select? Was it Kanye? I don't know. I don't know. Did I miss anyone else? I feel bad now. Oh, Kara Soldier's here. I'm seeing a whole bunch of names that as I scroll up. I did not mean to skip y'all. Trust me, I did not. Maddie's here. Oh my goodness. Well, see now that when I was scrolling, the chat must have skipped down because I missed a bunch of people. So I did not intentionally miss anybody. All right, let's get into the things people are talking about on the app formerly known as Twitter. Our daily Twitter trending topic rundown. First, Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton. And Tall Person's not here to give us our day of the day, so this will be our the day the Catholic Church is honoring Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton. Which this is kind of a trend over the last a couple of weeks, whatever. Where and Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton is the first was the first American to be canonized by the Catholic Church for her, I guess, development or whatever of the Catholic school systems in the United States. Is that right? Does anyone know? I think that's right. Someone here. Here he is. Here it is. Okay, because I didn't have this set up. On this memorial of Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton, check out. Oh, that's not it. Today, the church honors Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton, first American-born citizen to be canonized. She is the patron saint of Catholic schools and also of widows. The gate of heaven is very low; only the humble can enter it. So there you go. That's the Catholic Day that shows up on Twitter in the whatchamacallit, the trending topics today. Also trending on X, Baghdad is trending, and this is not for a good reason. Apparently, the U.S. military conducted a precision strike in Baghdad, targeting and killing a high-ranking leader of the Iranian-backed Harakat al-Nujaba militia, along with another individual, in retaliation for repeated attacks on American forces in Iraq, according to Reuters. Again, Baghdad headquarters attacked. Oh, because the Baghdad headquarters got U.S. forces expected. Well, it's been confirmed that U.S. forces did it. Let's see. U.S. airstrike reportedly targets al-Shabi's headquarters in Baghdad, resulting in multiple casualties. Two al-Shabi commanders confirmed dead, several injured in the explosion. So it's just, I guess 3 missiles were fired at PMF headquarters, and the 4th targeted the car of the commander of the Baghdad belt, 2 confirmed dead. Okay, so now okay, the other reason Baghdad is trending is because of our friend Latrine Jean-Pierre. Excuse me, Karine Jean-Pierre. People are comparing her to Baghdad Bob, and here is why. Now, I know, Mike, you'll not like this, but I'm still going to laugh about it. Because people are comparing her to Baghdad Bob because of this report, and this is something that she was on CNN. And I don't know exactly what this one is. Let's listen to this one.
So look, I want to take a step back for just a moment as we look at 24, and we're in 24.
Circle back?
Just a step back. This president has done more in 3 years than any other president has done in 2 terms, and that is important here, Audie. So.
Okay, I need to listen. I need I need to listen to this again.
Look, I want to take a step back for just a moment as we look at 24, and we're in 24, but just a step back. This president has done more in 3 years than any other president has done in 2 terms, and that is important here, Audie.
Okay. And that's the show, folks. Thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. We'll be here Monday through Friday. Just kidding. Hello, Aaron Meredith, by the way. Okay, so anyway, that's her Baghdad Bob moment. But anyway, and also China and Iraq, and that's from earlier at the end of the year, are beginning construction of a new city near Baghdad, which is interesting. But so anyway, the U.S. military conducted that strike in Baghdad. I don't like this. Hello, Robert Banks. How you doing, brother? Has done more to ruin the country. Well, he's doing some strange shit as far as I'm concerned. I know some people like it, some people don't. I'm in the don't category. But so anyway, that's Baghdad's trending because of that airstrike, and I'm trying to figure out what, you know. They said that it's a retaliation for attacks on U.S. forces over there. I am weary of military action in this world, and highly concerned of growing military action in this world. And I'm going to just stop with that. Another thing trending is Katt Williams, the comedian. One of the most, I would say, Katt Williams, one of the most successful touring comedians. He doesn't get a lot of media attention, but he's well known, especially among the melanated. And he's a funny dude, and he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, and everyone's talking about this interview with Shannon Sharpe. This is something else I haven't watched, but there's little parts of it that are the little parts of it that people are going, yeah, this is fire. I mean, the topics went everywhere. I've watched very little bit of it, but the topics they covered were far and wide. Here's one where he said something where race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. This is here. What do you say here? Let's just get this little clip of it. I don't even know if this is copyright stuff, but I'm going to comment on it anyway.
They canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side.
That's deep.
Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TGJ.
He named some names too.
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
Shannon's speechless.
I haven't known one of these.
Amen.
So anyway, he's got a little bit of dirt on a lot of people, and he's not afraid to use it. Let's see. Someone did a video of him when he roasts Wanda Sykes. But anyway, that was the big line, that 2024 will be the year that all lies are exposed. Watch out. He went off on Tyler Perry. He went off on several people. So anyway, I just suggest finding that. I haven't watched it. That's why I'm not commenting on it. But it's all the buzz on the internet right now. All right, moving on. Kevin Hart is trending also because of that Katt Williams interview. And in fact, part of it is because one of the things that Katt Williams said was this, that every movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk. This is 16 minutes. I'm not going to play that. But anyway, I think that's one of the main reasons everyone's talking about Kevin Hart, and also someone named Ricky Smiley. I'm gonna skip this because this is stuff I haven't. Again, this is stuff I saw this morning and I haven't even looked at it. But also he mentioned Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's been getting a little flack too. And so let's see. And so Medea is trending. You know, Medea is Tyler Perry's best character. But one of the things that he said that, one of the things that Katt Williams said was that Tyler Perry is better at playing a woman than he is at playing a man, which because really his characters, his male characters that he plays on the Medea movies are pretty boring, but Medea's funny as hell. The best part was that he put in his contract that Ricky Smiley had to wear a dress if he was cast. Oh no, I missed that part. But a lot of people were talking about Tyler Perry and Alex Cross because Tyler Perry bought the rights to Alex Cross, and some people say he ruined the movie. He literally bought the rights to play Alex Cross, and it was horrible. It pisses me off since this was such an amazing character. Yeah, Alex Cross is a great character in the James Patterson books. He said Tyler Perry and Ricky Smiley can't play men. Yeah, that's what he said. There is a whole bunch in there that I just haven't. I'm sorry, I haven't watched the interview, so I can't comment it. I'm just telling you it's trending. Go check that out. I got the links in there. Also, somebody named Jeremy Allen's trending. Now, this is some eye candy for the ladies because I don't really care. Apparently, Jeremy Allen White is a new model for Calvin Klein, and so all I see is a bunch of women going, "Ooh, damn, ooh, damn." Alex Cross is a character in a James Patterson book. He's a kind of an action character, and someone's asking who's Alex Cross. Action character in a James Patterson novel that Tyler Perry bought the rights to and made a movie about, and some people say he ruined the character. So anyway, lots of people are liking this Jeremy Allen White, so I'll just leave the link in there for you. Good morning, Those Ain't Real Dude, by the way. Also, Epstein is trending. Now, this is the big one. This is the list. Apparently, the list. And this was, now, here's the thing about this. My understanding, and again, this is breaking last night. I was probably already in bed when this came out, is they have this list of Epstein Island visitors from the court case. Now, not everybody, apparently, that has been to the island necessarily did nefarious things, although that you would think they would have seen some nefarious things. I'm going to go to the Zero Hedge article first. Okay, because this gives me some details that I could read about that I can't speak to because I haven't really paid attention. I haven't seen it all this morning. I didn't get here in time to do a lot of research this morning. So here we go. Bill Clinton, Stephen Hawking, at an orgy, and Michael Jackson. Here's who is unsealed, who is in the unsealed Epstein docs so far. This is a update at 8:55 Eastern Time this morning on this subject. Okay, here's a list of names mentioned so far in the unsealed Epstein documents, of which there are many more to come. Their inclusion does not necessarily equal wrongdoing. That's an important fact here. It's an important fact to know that just because they're on this list doesn't mean they were involved in any wrongdoing. In fact, some might have just been witnesses for certain, on the list. But anyway, Bill Clinton, he said, this is all from testimony, I guess. Bill Clinton, he said one time that Clinton likes them young, referring to girls. Michael Jackson, one accuser was asked, "Did you ever meet anybody famous when you were with Jeffrey?" To which she replies, "I met Michael Jackson at Jeffrey's house in Palm Beach." The accuser said she was not forced to perform massage on the pop star, perhaps because she wasn't a 12-year-old boy. Now that's fucked up. Whoever added that little parentheses is fucked up. So I'm just saying. Prince Andrew, everybody knew Prince Andrew is heavily implicated in the issues going on at Epstein Island. No surprise, right? Michael Jackson is a bit of a surprise, but again, Jeffrey Epstein ran around in some very, very, very haughty-taughty Hollywood and entertainment circles, as well as politics and everything. You know what? And I bet you there was video that the FBI ain't telling you about. Let's see. Here, Prince Andrew, according to accuser Johanna Schoberg, Prince Andrew touched her breast while posing for a picture with a puppet of himself, quote, and they decided to take a picture with it, in which Virginia and Andrew sat on a couch, she said, adding, "They put the puppet on Virginia's lap, and I sat on Andrew's lap, and they put the puppet's hand on Virginia's breast, and Andrew just put his hand on my breast, and they took a photo." Okay, we already knew Prince Andrew is probably... let's put it this way. The royal family is not happy with Prince Andrew about his dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. Alan Dershowitz, who has vehemently denied things, all accusations, but allegedly came, quote, pretty often to Epstein's Florida mansion and got massages while he was there, according to accuser Virginia Jeffrey. Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking. In addition to Schoberg's evidence, there is an email from Epstein to Maxwell in which he says she should issue a reward to any of Jeffrey's associates who can disprove her allegations. You can issue a reward to any of her Virginia's friends, acquaintances, families that come forward and help prove her allegations were false, writes Epstein. The strongest is the Clinton dinner and the new version in the Virgin Islands that Stephen Hawking participated in an underage orgy. That's very curious. Al Gore. Jeffrey previously claimed that former vice president traveled on Epstein's carbon-spewing private plane. He has not been accused of any wrongdoing. So let's just keep that in mind. He has not been accused of any wrongdoing. He rode on the plane once. Bill Richardson, the former and now deceased New Mexico governor, who Jeffrey says was among those who Maxwell directed her to have sex with. We already knew about this. George Lucas. Schoberg was asked in May of 2016 if she'd ever met or given massages to several other high-profile celebrities, including George Lucas, which she denied. David Copperfield, the magician. Schoberg said she also met famed magician, magical David Copperfield, saying she observed him to be a friend of Epstein's. Naomi Campbell, the model who flew on Epstein's private jet, according to previously revealed flight logs from pilot David Rogers. In 2019, Campbell admitted she knew Epstein, saying, "I was introduced to him on my 31st birthday by my ex-boyfriend Flavio Briatore, the Italian businessman who had been convicted of fraud. He was always front and center in Victoria's Secret shows." Kevin Spacey, we already knew that, who Johanna Schoberg denied meeting, but traveled to Africa with Bill Clinton on Epstein's plane in 2002. Donald Trump notably did not receive a massage at Epstein's or Maxwell's request. Now there's an update. This is, I guess, yesterday. Jeffrey Epstein files have been unsealed as expected. Former President Bill Clinton is prominently featured as John Doe 36. For another good look at this, the first of several Epstein docs to come. Check out the reaction. Okay, let's check out the reaction. We'll open that in a new link. Let's see here. The Epstein files. John Doe's identified. This gives you a comprehensive list and whatnot. So we'll get a chance to go through this another day. LOL, they flop out of the wheelchair and let the hoes have their way. Oh my God. What's that? Good morning, Jimmy Das Hotep, by the way. So I'm not up to speed on this. Technofog, I guess, has a lot of stuff on it too on Twitter. X, the app formerly known as X, so we'll open that link too, but I'm not going to get into it too deep today because I don't know what I'm talking about yet. Just going to read later. I'm not, like I said, I'm not up on everything here. But they have a long thread on this too. So there you go. And they're going through and showing you they're giving you the receipts, everything that was listed and said and yada, yada. So if you want to go look through that, have at it. All right. Other things trending because of that, though, Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. And obviously, anytime Bill Clinton's mentioned, Ed Krasenstein's going to be out there saying, what about Donald Trump? And again, this list doesn't, the fact that they're mentioned doesn't mean any wrongdoing. In fact, we know why Donald Trump may be mentioned because he's the one who turned Epstein in, and was the only person, the single person of all the people ever mentioned with any relationship to Jeffrey Epstein that cooperated with authorities and gave evidence. The only one. He's the only one. Dude. So, but because people are dying to have Donald Trump implicated on some wrongdoing regarding Jeffrey Epstein. Everyone's talking about it. The other thing is Trump and Epstein is also trending. Now, what's interesting here, and some people are like, oh my God, Tim, this dude, this is a DeSantis guy. And he is very, very anti-Trump. And so he's a prediction. MAGA will share AI-generated images and docs of Trump and Epstein to discredit the real images and documents. So some people are bringing up the fact that Trump apparently and Epstein were accused of forcibly raping a 13-year-old girl during an underage sex party at Epstein's Manhattan residence. She dropped a lawsuit after repeated threats against her and her family. Okay, that's certainly in the record, right? There's also, though, in the record, let's see. Where is it? I saw it in here somewhere. Oh, here's a weird one, too. Dershowitz, the defender of the scum of the earth, wrote an article once, statutory rape is an outdated concept. Not a good look, Alan. There was also one, though, and I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Here's the one I was looking for. Here's the facts from someone named Nathan Chubb, which is an unfortunate name, where it says, facts, that's Trump and Epstein. Yep, but that's not on the Petal Island. That's at Mar-a-Lago, the club that Trump owns, which was the only club in Palm Beach that allowed blacks and Jews, and that was only because Trump refused to follow that ordinance. He actually sued the city of Palm Beach for being racist against blacks and Jews. Trump later banned Epstein from the club because he found out Epstein made passes at the 14-year-old daughter of another member. And in 2002, he publicly outed Epstein as a pedophile. Long before Epstein was investigated or charged in 2005, all of Epstein's contacts were subpoenaed except Trump because he came forward willingly. So to all you misinformed dummies, stop trying to use this nasty circle of pedophiles to express your hate for Trump. Do your research and stop being sheep and see a picture and make up your own story to it. And for God's sake, stop using this sick shit going on to push your Trump-hating agenda. It's pathetic and mindless. So that's in those links. Moving on. I gotta go. I gotta go faster today. Prince Andrew's trending again because, of course, he was implicated in this shit, and he might be the worst case because they made some serious accusations against him, and he's basically hiding in Britain, basically. Also, Alan Dershowitz, another person mentioned. So a lot of these people are being mentioned multiple times. Alan Dershowitz is on the Jeffrey Epstein list and accused by Jane Doe number 3 of sexual assault when she was a child. Dershowitz, however, wants the list of all these radical feminists who pushed for the Epstein list. I'm not a radical feminist. I want the list too, Alan. If whatever they said you did, you can rot in hell for it too, dickwad. He wants to know if they have condemned Hamas. Well, that's irrelevant. Good Lord. Any of them. And I'll tell you what, if they find out Donald Trump did shit, I'm going to say the same damn thing. But so far, Trump's the only one who's ever helped with an investigation against Epstein. So I know that doesn't fit the narrative some people want to hear, but that is the truth. And also the word cleared is being bandied about. And for example, people saying Trump has been cleared of the Epstein client list. As a supporter, I'm happy about that. Well, they haven't dropped all the names, and his name was mentioned, so don't say he was cleared. I don't think anybody's been cleared of this, unfortunately, and I don't think anyone's had to actually do any depositions. No one's had to testify. No one's had to do anything. And I'm telling you right now, anyone who participated in that shit on that island, or in some of those plane rides, if you get caught, or if they have evidence against you, go fuck yourself. So there you go. Let's see. Moving on. Madonna's trending. Now, there was a video of Madonna that people have been posting a lot, like this clip right here where they're like, okay, so this is the video. And now I personally have no interest in seeing Madonna or whatever, but they're talking about like this techno. This is like a techno rendition of Sweating to the Old Days. Madonna is 65. She really needs to come to a grip with that. Maybe stop with the silliness. But you know what? She's a performer and people like her, right? And everyone's making fun of her for having this grab bar so she doesn't fall. Well, there is a little bit more to that story, okay? The reason she has a grab bar so she doesn't fall is because this picture is being taken. Here, I don't want a music. She's in midair in a box flying over the crowd. So she's holding on so she doesn't fall 30, 40 feet to her death. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Madonna's been done. Like she's been done, okay? But I'm not going to knock her for, she has a fan base and they love her and, good for them, good for her. I think she's a shell of, or just, I don't know. It's like the same reason I wouldn't go see the Four Tops right now. Okay. Way, way beyond their prime. And maybe it's time to hang it up, but you know what? I don't care. People love her. At least Cher will never wear the monokini again. Yeah. Madonna's got a lot of, extracurricular parts that have been added to her too, and she just looks weird, but whatever. If people like her, go see her and whatever. Apparently Mark Cuban's trending too. Basically it's because Mark Cuban put out this comment. Let me help you out and give you my thoughts on DEI, as in diversity, equity, and inclusion. What's that word? Equity? When you hear the word equity, gang, what do? Run. He says diversity, for one, well, this is one. Okay, here's his thread on this. Diversity. Good businesses look where others don't to find the employees that will put your business in the best possible position to succeed. You may not agree, but I take it as a given that there are people of various races, ethnicities, orientations, etc., that are regularly excluded from hiring consideration. Okay. Is it because they're not in the pool? Why would they be excluded from hiring consideration if they're in the pool? You got to be in the pool of hiring possibilities to be hired. And that's where the problem is. I'll get to that in a second. He continues, by extending our hiring search to include them, we can find people that are more qualified. The loss of DEI phobic companies is my gain. Well, good luck with that. Hang on. And then he gives a supplement to this. We live in a country with very diverse demographics. In this era where trusted businesses can be hard to come by, people tend to connect more easily with people who are like them. Having a workforce that is diverse and representative of your stakeholders is good business. It can be. Because I see. Is he replying to Elon Musk? Discrimination on the basis of race, which DEI does, is literally the definition of racism. Look, I say this because I think we've approached this in the wrong way. Diversity happens when you enlarge the pool of qualified people, but it cannot happen starting where Mark Cuban is starting it, because he's starting it at the grown adults who are looking to be hired in the process. So, for example, people always say, oh, we need to get more minorities in STEM. Okay, let's say that, okay, for example. Well, it's not that there are not minorities in STEM, but it is harder to find a more representative amount of minorities in STEM when the schools that in places where minorities go to school are not producing hireable candidates. So if I go into the city of Baltimore and I find out that 14 or half the schools have no kids who can read at their grade level, those students that can't read at their grade level probably aren't going to college to go into STEM. Okay. Or and there's several school districts like that around the country. So first of all, you have to start at the very beginning to get a qualified pool. Now, it doesn't mean that there won't be any diverse people in those pools, but they're going to be few and far between. And because your only focus is on diversity, they're going to be in extremely high demand and they could probably write their checks. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the hot commodity right now. But if that's your main goal, good luck, because you got to start. You can't hire diversity unless there's a pool of that. Now, if you fix the education system, which apparently Democrats don't really want to do anyway, and give people choices to get better, I'm a school choice guy. If you don't start though at the very beginning, then you're never going to have that pool to choose from. You're going to be choosing your diversity from a very small pool. And those people can write their own checks, especially if they're competent. But the idea that because you search, what did he say here? He said this. He said, by extending our hiring search to include them, we can find people that are more qualified. More qualified than what? You're going to find people who are qualified, sure, but it's going to be hard to find them, and you're not going to be able to fill anything on any percentages based on demographics. So anyway, I think so it just has the wrong focus. Well, we want more black people in this particular field. Then let's make sure more black people progress through the school system at grade level in certain topics. That's what you can't start at the hiring process. You got to start way before that. All right. And as he continues, equity. Now, this is the one that's hilarious. I haven't read it, and I can tell you it's hilarious because he probably doesn't even know what it means, but I'm going to see what he says. Equity. He says treating people equally does not mean treating them the same. I made the mistake for a lot of years thinking it did. Equity is a core principle of business. What? Okay, well, let's see where he goes with this. Equity is a core principle of business. Put your employees in a position to succeed, recognize their differences, and play to their strengths wherever possible. It is not a hard concept, but it is not easy to implement. Most workforces don't have the depth of management to do this well. When it's not done well, it can create a tension and resentment. Yeah, because equity means everyone has the same outcome. But what if so there's really no such thing as equity, period. And that has nothing to do with demographics. That has to do with people, their motivations, their skills, their brains, whatever they can do. So he's right. Treating people equally does not mean treating them the same. So there's equity is almost an inane concept because people aren't the same. So they're not all going to have the same outcomes. You cannot guarantee the same outcomes. Now, if you're saying, oh, well, I'm just going to pay them all the same. Like, we're going to go union. That's equity. Equity is union. Well, yeah, some people work a lot harder than others and don't get rewarded for it then. So you got to decide, are you going to be able to reward performance or are you just going to make everything equal? Inclusion. Let's see what he says about inclusion. Inclusion. One of my favorite sayings is that great employees reduce the stress of those around them. Okay, what does that have to do with inclusion? Great companies create environments that reduce unnecessary stress of their employees. I'm not talking hitting quota or getting the product out the door stress, which in turn increases productivity. This is what inclusion is about, making all employees, no matter who they are or how they see themselves, feel comfortable with their environment and able to do their jobs. Okay, I can't say he's wrong there. But that's not really what the I in inclusion means in DEI. But okay, whatever. Fourth, he says, why is DEI like healthcare? What are you talking about? Why is DEI like healthcare? One of the lessons I've learned in healthcare is that most CEOs don't know or really don't want to know what their healthcare benefit dollar, where their healthcare benefit dollars are going. In their minds, it's not part of the core competency of their business. As a result, they waste a shitload of money on less than quality care for their employees, and more often than not, their sickest and lowest paid employees that subsidize the rebates and deductibles. Sicker employees have to pay up to their deductible. Healthy don't. Wait, their sickest and lowest paid employees that subsidize the rebate. So you're saying your lowest paid employees are also the ones who get sick the most? I don't get that. So what does that have to do with DEI? Like healthcare, DEI is not seen as a core competency in most companies. It's just a huge expense. Intellectually, they see the benefit of DEI, but they don't have time to focus on it. So it turns into a checkbox that they hope they don't have to deal with beyond having HR do a report to the board and legal tells them they're covered. When anything impacts all of your employees, this is pretty much a checklist item to the CEO. There's a good chance that it's not going to work well, and you're going to have employees who are not comfortable with for a lot of different reasons, which in turn creates resentment toward DEI policies and training, which in turn makes it harder on the managers to try to implement it. When companies do DEI well, you see a well-run, successful company. There's no evidence of that. There's zero evidence of that, and he should know that there's zero evidence. So what's the conclusion? If you don't think there's a need for DEI, it doesn't create a competitive advantage for your company. Just look at the ex post replies quotes below. These are the same people that work for you or are your coworkers. Everyone's entitled to their point of view, but these same feelings, even if they are not said out loud, are heard loud and clear at work. What are you talking about? Hey, Trippy Liberty, how you doing? Now, someone replies, DEI is not seen as a core competency in most companies. It's just a huge expense. Yes, and at any time you make something like DEI a requirement, it will turn into a checklist and eventually a lucrative industry. You give literal breakdown of DEI from a definition standpoint, but seem to gloss over what DEI and sister programs such as affirmative action has become in actuality, which is ironically rather discriminatory. Equity and equality are also wrongly conflated here. The reality of DEI is destroying meritocracy to hire based on race and gender for extra social credit points and government bucks. This is wrong and will only breed further division in this country. To which he responds, you can give specifics. Scenarios I use are what I do and what I have seen with companies I work with. I've had this position for a long time, but for your company, I'd love to know how you hire. Well, let's just wait a minute. Now I'm going to stop there because somebody, where is it? I'm going to go back, point it out. Oh, really? This is, and this is the Mark Cuban's company. Well, you got Mark Cuban, you got this guy, and this guy. I guess he's Asian of descent. This white guy, this white guy, this white guy, this white guy, this white woman. Okay, well, I guess maybe he is. That's his equity right there. He's got an Asian guy and a woman in there somewhere. So anyway, a lot of people are talking about Mark Cuban's post. Good for him. So, and how can Mark Cuban not know that DEI is just a communist entryism? Are you really that fooled, Mark? Anyway. Oh, and some people are clapping for him. Mark Cuban, the only decent billionaire, literal common sense and decent. Oh, yes, because he believes in DEI. If he really wanted to do something worthwhile, he would start schools in cities where schools are failing, and just bring in kids, the best talent from those schools. But the problem is you're not allowed to do that because, see, that would be school choice, and then you'd be giving special treatment to some people, and that would not be equity, because equity means everyone is the same. And so that would be against the rules. All right. I really wanted to talk about Vivek today. I'm not going to get to any of my stories today, unfortunately, except for this one. So we'll finish with Vivek, which is really what I wanted to talk about today anyway. There are some articles regarding the list, and also the threads regarding the list, which I haven't gotten too deep into. But I want to talk about this issue. Vivek was speaking to somebody in Iowa, and apparently Steve King of Iowa. Now, if you remember Steve King, he used to be in Congress, and he got into a little flap, and someone, said something about him. He's apparently has some ties to some people who are white supremacy related or something. I don't remember the whole story about Steve King. And Steve King announced he was endorsing Vivek Ramaswamy, who is not a white person, but that's beyond the point. And so there was this reporter from the Washington Post who decided to ask about this endorsement. And Vivek made a prediction, which I'm going to show you how his prediction kind of came true. But here's the exchange he had with the Washington Post reporter regarding the endorsement of Steve King that Vivek received. Here we go.
Do you condemn white supremacy?
Now, by the way, this is just the part where the Washington Post reporter is going to ask him, do you denounce white supremacy? Now, if you remember, over the course of the elections in the 2016 cycle, and also in 2020, lots and lots of reporters loved to ask this question to Donald Trump because they thought it was a gotcha question, like as if they would claim that Donald Trump never, ever, ever, ever denounced white supremacy, which he did every time they asked him. But for whatever reason, they thought, nope, he didn't do it. He didn't answer it good enough. And so this question from a Washington Post reporter to Vivek Ramaswamy is, do you denounce white supremacy?
Do you condemn white supremacy
Or condemn?
white nationalism?
I mean, who are you with? Which it's Washington Post. All right, so potato, okay.
Mm-hmm. First, the incredulity of the question.
Of course, I condemn any form of vicious racial discrimination in this country. But I think that the presumption of your question is fundamentally based on a falsehood that really is the main form of racial discrimination we see in this country today. Institutionalized racism is institutionalized racial discrimination that we see that doesn't come from somehow discriminating against people on the basis of some tenet of white supremacy. It's based on affirmative action. It's based on actually discriminating against people on the color of their skin in a way that's actually institutionalized today. Was there a point in our history, at points in our prior national history, where there have been vicious forms of anti-black or anti-brown discrimination throughout this country after the Civil War and otherwise? Yes. But you're looking in the rearview mirror and using that to pose a question today that is so far removed from what the reality is in America today. This myth of white supremacy, the closest you can find is Jussie Smollett, where you all were actually, speaking of trust in the media, jumping up and down over some false narrative. The best way you're able to find your best instance of white supremacy was a guy who was actually paying his other fellow people to be actually staging something that didn't happen. And so stop picking on this farce of some figment that exists at some infinitesimally small fringe of the American public today to open our eyes to the actual real threats that we face. And I think that it's frankly questions and framings like that that has caused the American public to lose all trust in the mainstream media, I'm sorry to say, for good reason.
You didn't say that you condemn white supremacy.
Notice now, did you see it? Did you hear that? He gave that answer, which I thought was a good answer, right? And the only thing she could come back with was, you didn't say you condemn white supremacy. What? What?
Things like that has caused the
There
American
she
public
is.
to lose all trust in the mainstream media. I'm sorry to say, for good reason.
And now,
You didn't say that you condemn white supremacy.
now watch the prediction he makes. He makes a prediction here.
I'm not going to recite some catechism for you. I'm against vicious racial discrimination in this country. So I'm not pledging allegiance to your new religion of modern wokeism, which actually fits the test. I'm not going to bend the knee to your religion. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to bend the knee to mine, and I'm not going to bend the knee to yours. But do I condemn vicious racial discrimination? Yes, I do. Am I going to play your silly game of gotcha? No, I'm not. And frankly, this is why people have lost trust. And I know you're going to go print the headline tomorrow. I already know this. We already know how your game works. Vivek Ramaswamy refuses to condemn white supremacy because you asked a stupid question. The reality is, I condemn vicious racial discrimination in this country, but the kind of vicious and systematic racial discrimination we see today is discrimination on the basis of race in a very different direction. You want to know what the best way is to end discrimination on the basis of race? Stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do that, and we're going to move this country forward. And I don't care whether you're black or white or brown or anything in between. That's how we're going to unite this country. You people have been responsible for dividing this country to a breaking point, creating a projection of national division. I meet people from the south side of Chicago to meetings like this one of every shade of melanin, multiple, from man to woman, doesn't make a difference, who are hungry for reviving unity in this country. And you, with your catechism that you try to get to politicians to whatever fake headline you're going to print on the basis of this conversation tomorrow, that's what's dividing this country to a breaking point. Shame on you. Look people in the eye and tell them what you've actually failed to tell them for the last 5 years. Own the accountability for your own failures as the media. That's how we rebuild trust in this country. And until then, I don't have a lot of patience to play the games.
Okay, so now, I decided to check this morning to see if anyone made the headline, Vivek Ramaswamy refuses to condemn white supremacy. So here is, like, in fact, here's, I think there was, I had an article about this too. Here it is. Ramaswamy destroys WAPO reporter over the dumb gotcha question about white supremacy. There's an article about it too if you want to get more detail on that. So let's just do this. Okay, this is what how I'm going to finish the show today. We're going to go into, this is, I'm on, what am I on? Brave browser. So it's whatever. We're going to do a search. Vivek and white supremacy. Now, this is going to be interesting because I did this on DuckDuckGo earlier, and I got a few articles that I was expecting. So let's look at just the headline names of the headlines. Oh, wow, that's from 8/28. Now, that's from a year ago, or that's from last year. This one here, Vivek Ramaswamy fires back a reporter for asking if he condemns white supremacy. Okay. Now, I looked this up though. Here in August of 23, there's a CNN video. Vivek Ramaswamy defends white supremacy. And wait, what is this? Let's get the whole article here. I'm going to open it up. Defends comments about white supremacy and the KKK. Now, it's weird because it defends white supremacy and KKK comments. The way it's, okay, they changed this. It originally, let's see, how's it listen here? Ramaswamy, white supremacy, AKA, I had a press, okay, never mind. And they had a video that's saying he defends his comments about white supremacy and the KKK, but that's not related to this thing yesterday. Let's see, CBS News. Ramaswamy campaigns with former Iowa congressman. With a racist history of racist remarks. Okay, that's in CBS News. Ramaswamy wounded Trump. Okay, that's not it. Ramaswamy goes off on Washington Post reporter over issue white supremacy. So it looks like they didn't do what he said. I think he cut him off the pass. I think he cut the Washington Post off the pass because that's what she wanted to write. She's asked that question specifically so she could write something to the effect that, the follow-up question was designed to say, oh no, he did not condemn white supremacy. And I'm still waiting for that article to drop. So we're going to watch for that over the next few days to see if they attempt to make that a story, that he refuses to condemn white supremacy. But the problem is when you do this with Vivek, he's pretty good at bringing back the receipts, and he preempted this by having that conversation with the Washington Post reporter. So I think he did pretty good there, and it's a stupid question anyway. What do you want him to say? We want to know if you condemn white supremacy. Did you expect him to say, oh no, I love white supremacy. I think white supremacy is the greatest thing on the planet. I think we should have more white supremacy. Don't clip that. What was the answer that she was expecting? Because that's what they did with Donald Trump. They wanted a soundbite to make it sound like, even if he says explicitly, which he did many times, that he condemns white supremacy. He doesn't believe in white supremacy. They're still going to make it sound like he supports it because that's their race. That's the race game they're playing. And I've noticed, and I've got a few examples, but I'm not going to get to them today. I've noticed that the race articles are starting to pop up all over the place. There was an article just a few weeks ago saying that the Navy. I talked about the Navy Federal Credit Union doesn't approve as many black borrowers as white borrowers, or lower percentage of black borrowers than white borrowers. And I can tell you, for the most part, why people get denied loans. There's this one. There's all of a sudden all these little race articles that are designed to make us melanated folks mad about something. But it's all right ahead of election time, and then they're going to say, oh my God, if Donald Trump gets back in office, it's going to be a Joe Biden moment. He's going to say, you're going to be back in chains. Whoever said that one? Who said the back in chains one? They're going to put you all back in chains. They're going to take away your voting rights. They're going to bring back slavery. They're going to do this. They're going to do that because and it's funny because the one about the Navy Federal Credit Union, denying higher percentage of black people loans than white people. Well, first of all, excuse me, who's the president right now? Who's been president for 3 years? If that was the case, why didn't he fix that? Oh, yeah, no, that it's going to be worse if Donald Trump is president. So you got to make sure you reelect Biden. Well, what's Sponge Brain Shit Pants going to do about that? Nothing, because he's not doing anything about anything he talks about. But we got to scare you black people to get out there and vote for Democrats, because Democrats are the only ones who are going to save you. What if I don't want to be saved? What if I want the motherfuckers just to leave me alone? No, but you still got to vote for Democrats because you black. If you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black. I've been black all my life. What are you talking about? Because you got to vote for Democrats. Look how bad it is for black people. For the most part, most black people just live their days. What are you talking about? I don't think, there's this it's kind of this thing where, God, who's that Jane somebody? She's out there talking to white people about how they're all racist and you're benefiting from the system. And one of the things that she said, I saw a video about it where she says, now, how many of you in this audience would trade places with black people, knowing how black people are treated on average in this society? Wait a minute. How black people are treated on average in this society? On average in this society? You mean like on average, most black people just go about their day and live their lives on average and deal with their people like everybody else on average? Because on average, we just live our lives. No big deal. No problems. You know, there's some, you highlight all these awful things that happen to black people every time something bad happens to a black person. But you know what? On average, that shit don't happen to all of us. On average, we don't care what white people think. On average, we don't have any problem with the white people we come into contact with on a daily basis. On average, no. So what do you mean on average? On average, everything's good. Now there's some, out there things that happen on the margins that you sure love to talk about all the time. But on average, most people just live their lives and don't really think about other people as a monolithic group. So anyway, guys, I got to go. I'm done. I didn't really do any FTGs today. There are some articles in the links. I just didn't get to any of them. So if you want to check out the links, there's some interesting stuff in there. And just make sure you drop back in tomorrow, and we'll be here for Friday. We'll do Q&A again tomorrow. Thanks for all of you who joined us in the chat. Oh, Gunfox, how you doing? I see you over there. And Cannon's here too. What's up? And Shrapnel. Okay, I missed a whole bunch of people. All right. Well, anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me on the Morning Night Live. I'll be here back again tomorrow and next week. And every time that I broadcast, you'll get the notifications. Make sure you got that ready. I should probably put together a new outro and intro, shouldn't I? I'll do that sometime soon because I got to thank the people who were the top donors in 2023. But anyway, that's it. I got to go. My name's Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.